This
Yeah.
computer. What is smart recording with AI? That sounds terrible.
No,
Yeah, let's
No,
not do
I'm
that.
no, I'm not doing that.
it's
I'm just
gonna be like every once in a while, one of us will be like, we'll be talking and it'll correct us to a different word,
it'll be like,
No,
I'm taking
like
like it's
autocorrect.
I'm taking a trip to Taiwan, but it's like I'm taking a trip to a satellite of China and I'm gonna,
Yeah, it'll just be
maybe
like
maybe it'll
property
like
of glorious mainland.
make us all Vocaloid and we'll sound like Hatsune Miku.
I mean, I could do that with my pedal anyway, but nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that. I think we're on 64, but I'm gonna guess we might be on
Yeah, because
63.
64 was the bad one. The numbers are the wait, no, it should be 63, right? Because the
Because we
bad
did
one.
good first, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you when I find the list.
Yeah, you
Uh,
should look at it.
yeah, 63 is correct. Mm-mm.
In at number 63, it's um
I had trouble finding the movie.
in at number 63, it's
I had trouble finding the movie because
um
I kept typing Memento, which does not get you the movie. You need
This
just
reminds me of your name.
Memento. Memento. Why does that
Yeah,
remind
not
you of
my
your name?
This reminds me of your name.
Does it remind you of your name? We could make this like circular
This
little
is
rivulets of
63?
conversations. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. On Films and Filth, we're doing Memento. Everyone's memories are shattered. This is Matt here.
It's Mark, I think.
I think I'm Luke.
He's thinking about, but he's got a new jacket. Coming back for a 2 week stint hanging out. There's Alex. Howdy.
that's all I remember.
Cool. Hey, this is the first time I watched this movie, though. This is the no. Well, I still haven't seen Following. That's the first Nolan, right? But nobody's seen Following. Mark, have you seen
I
I don't
have
Following?
know.
not seen following.
Okay. So I only know if is it good? I don't know. But
Was
yeah.
that the TV show with Kevin Bacon
TV shows.
where
What's it about? He
the
follows people?
there was
Ooh.
like a serial killer who had a following and they did his serial killings for him?
That sounds
That
pretty
sounds
groovy.
fun.
I mean that's called The Following.
Ah.
Oh, fuck
Following
me, I
is
guess.
2 years earlier.
Wait,
A
why the
neo-noir
hell is it called
crime.
following if it's not following anything because it's his first movie? That seems
Because
like a
it's
plot hole.
Nolan. Everything's temporally twonked, right?
He's making his films in reverse.
Yeah.
I gotta say that the trivia for this is very funny because the whole story of him making this film is like him and his brother drove across the country in a used Nissan and they were broke and just like figuring out the plot. But it says Sir Christopher Nolan in every blurb. Like they put Sir into every blurb. So it's like Sir Christopher Nolan was broke and living in a used Nissan.
That's just back when he was known as Movie Chris.
Yeah.
Before we
Yeah.
get knighted, we should get a different title, like Dude, you know?
Future, it should say future sir every time.
Future
Yeah,
Sir.
but
Well,
I saw this when it came out on DVD. And then I watched the reverse version that was a bonus feature, which is like the forwards version,
Right?
if that makes sense. It's the and it
it
did not
sounds like
work.
it
I
would
thought
be really boring.
it was bad. It was not good and it was not worth it.
So
And this
you
is my
need the
third,
gimmick.
technically my third time watching it.
Okay. Anyway, Following said it is about a young man who follows strangers around the streets of London and is drawn into a criminal underworld when he fails to keep his distance. So he's
That
following
sounds
too
like what Alex
closely.
said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he follows too closely,
Right, right. 70
Gotta
which is
minutes.
take
a
it.
So
crime in America.
it's only kind of a movie, I guess, at 70
Hmm.
minutes. You can double
No, that
feature.
sounds like a perfect length for a movie.
I
That's
never
like a BBC
This
TV
should have been
movie.
70 minutes.
I
I'm
never
not saying
saw
it's
this one.
bad.
Yeah, this is the Nolan I
It's too
haven't
long.
seen. So why didn't I see it in 2000? Was I too busy? It seems like something I would have seen like in the theater, but I
I
didn't.
saw it in the theater.
Yeah, maybe I was in Athens. It didn't show in Athens. I don't know.
It's ironic because I saw it at the movie theater in Athens. My friend Lucian was working there at the movie theater, and he got us all in. He
That
also
kills
got
my
us all in to
theory.
see Shrek,
So what'd you like
which
better, Shrek or Memento?
Shrek's
Memento,
better.
I
Okay.
think.
Oh, no contest, Shrek.
Shrek's better.
I
I don't
haven't
like
seen
I
Shrek
don't
for a
like
while.
Shrek. I don't like the Shrek series. I don't like Puss in Boots or any of the other spin-offs.
I haven't
Why
seen
are we
anything
like this
Shrek
person
that
on
I
our podcast?
could. People hated
Uh,
the last Shrek. I think everyone universally hated the final Shrek movie. That could be on our list, maybe.
No, it's the one before that.
Oh, is it okay? See, that's how much I know.
Yeah, everyone hates 3, and then 4 was.
Okay. Eh.
wasn't the most recent Puss in Boots like supposed to be incredible, like better than all the other ones?
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Really? Okay.
I'll have my doubts here, but I never saw the first
No, I
one, so
mean, you know, Paddington 2. I'm just gonna say Paddington 2 whenever someone's surprised at a animated sequel being
right.
loved.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Sonic
Well,
3, was that
Sonic.
loved? I saw that in the theater.
I think people loved it.
I loved all
Actually-
3 Sonics. They just got better and better.
I haven't gotten around to seeing 3, but I will maybe today. I don't know. Maybe no, I won't today.
no, you're
What am I
snowed
talking
in today.
about? I can't go anywhere.
You forgot. You have
I
you,
keep
you have
planning. I keep making
antrograde
these plans.
amnesia.
That don't work.
You have
It's like it's
antrograde. Am I saying it right? What is the guy have in this movie?
anterograde. Sometimes I feel like
Anterograde.
Sometimes I feel like
yeah.
I would get more done if I had anterograde amnesia.
You gotta live in
It's
the
a lot
moment,
like
right?
having, it seemed like extreme ADHD to me, because I could kind of relate to some of this stuff. Like, if I beat the crap out of somebody and then they left for like 15 minutes and came back and said, "Hey, so and so beat the crap out of me," I'd be like, "Yeah, let's go get them."
I think that's alcohol, Alex.
No, it's ADD. I swear.
I mean, this is I definitely have severe ADHD. The one thing I could definitely say is every once in a while, I'm like, oh, I'm looking forward to going to do something, like to go out to an event. And then I realized that the event already happened and I decided to skip it for some reason.
Hmm. Okay.
Like a
Well,
week ago.
that
Anyway.
works here. We'll never have plans. Wear a cool suit, right? You know?
It's easy to forget something happened if you didn't go to it.
Right. Well, you should have tattooed like a reminder on your forearm.
I mean,
Remember to feel like going to this show.
I mean, I have Facebook with a calendar on it that every once in a while just breaks and doesn't sync up with my calendar. So I look at my calendar and I think there's nothing happening. So that's not my fault. That's because Facebook is a piece of shit designed
Well,
by
if you got the tattoos,
Nazis.
you wouldn't have to blame Facebook anymore.
Okay, well, that's a good point.
You just need lots
Do
of
you?
tattoos. That's the solution.
Do you guys? Am I the only one here with tattoos?
I have tattoos. They don't
Okay.
tell me who killed my wife or anything. They're just like a Zelda one and a Terminator one.
Right. So if
You should
had
get one that says, "Don't let me into the onsen."
Ganondorf killed and raped my wife.
Is that your
Yeah,
tattoo?
Ganondorf's license plate is GND123. Oh no. Anyway, what did you guys think about this?
I thought it was the sort of film that seems kind of clever until you think about it for a second.
I guess so.
I thought it was genuinely clever.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
this shouldn't be the Nolan you watch like after you've recently watched Interstellar and Oppenheimer, probably, you know? I mean, it's so scaled down, right? And
Yeah, but
the
it's very
Right.
nice and tight. It's not as like Oppenheimer especially had like an hour tacked onto the end that didn't need to be there. So
I've only
Yeah.
seen that one once. I guess just since he makes like my point is that he makes maximalist movies now, so it's so weird to see a kind of a minimalist movie out of Nolan, you know? Although that's
Yeah.
because of budget, where his career was at the time, all of that. So like I definitely knew about this movie's reputation. Mark, maybe you kept telling me to go watch it, I think, or something, or somebody did.
I wasn't in love with it. I even at the time, I don't feel a lot different than I do now. Now I'm kind of surprised at how shitty it looks because it's the same cinematographer he'd work with on like much better looking movies, and he's known for everything looking so great. But this kind of just looks like a generic film to me. But like,
He had to have that like 2000s grit and stank on it.
I mean, it works with the material, but like there were better looking things coming out around the same time. But I guess Fight Club, for instance, came out a year before this and looks like
Yeah.
way better. But yeah, to me, it always seemed kind of like, well, it's like a Twilight Zone, but I've seen better Twilight Zones.
I
Yeah,
guess
in my head, this is alongside Sixth Sense as films that came out and people are like, oh, you've got to see this for the twist.
Yeah, and
Right.
the twist is kind of the guy's just a dick.
Yeah,
He's just like a petulant dick with his head in the sand. It's like, oh yeah, well I'm just gonna make sure that I kill you later. Like that's. I mean, sure.
Well, he did deserve it.
He was obviously watching it this time. I'm like, yeah, he's obviously a prick. So it's not as shocking as the first time where I was like, oh, he's the bad guy. But the reason he was the bad guy is just a moment of just shitty pettiness.
right, which he quickly forgot about. So, he didn't have to dwell on
Yeah.
it. That's the nice thing about being this Leonard. Now I guess I was just gonna say, watching it for the first time in 2025, like there's nothing particularly wrong with the movie, but it does feel like I'm watching a curio. It's like watching, like one of Hitchcock's silent films, right?
Yeah.
Perfectly
Yeah,
good, but it's not North by Northwest or Vertigo.
it was because like early on, I guess in Sir Christopher Nolan's career, you had to have like a gimmick in your movie. That was like what made a breakout. Like you were saying about The Sixth Sense, it was a gimmick, and the twist at the end. And I think M. Night Shyamalan really like leaned into that, having his gimmicks and like having his twist endings, whereas like Chris Nolan sort of grew out of it
then again, like
and made more
Prestige
substantive
and
movies.
Inception are still very much built up to twist endings.
Yeah, well, I really liked Inception. I like Inception a lot better. And I also liked The Prestige.
Prestige is one of my favorite
Um,
films of all time, but
yeah,
it
I
still
It's
was
my
I
does
favorite of his.
it still
I
does
love
sort
it.
of I would say it doesn't rely on the twist as much. It has a twist, but it also
Right,
the
but
drama and everything is still compelling.
That's the
yeah,
thing
yeah,
Maybe
is
the,
that
that's the
you
there's
difference.
the later you get in the Twilight Zone, the more it's like I use as an example all the time, It's a Good Life, where the twist is presented to you up front, and then you're just looking at a twisted world, which is like he goes to insomnia, and that's that. That's exactly what he does. There are, different versions of it, but the Prestige is like a series of interlocking twists,
Yeah.
which is part of why I think it's the best one, but it's also because he does a bunch of fancy bullshit, but it has a reason to exist in story. Where like Inception is like kind of more modest than it needs to be. I don't know. We'll talk about Inception like a long
Yeah, it
time
is
from now.
it is on the list at some point.
Yeah.
It is.
yeah, Inception could have gone way more balls out than it did.
Yeah, I still like it better than Oppenheimer, Interstellar, but again, we'll
Yeah.
talk about that later.
Yeah, my
It's
thing
just a
with
lot of Nolan.
I guess my thing with Inception that we will talk about later, but yeah, I just came in expecting it to be like way trippier, which I guess is why some people like Paprika a little better.
Like me, yeah.
But
I like Paprika better. I like Existenz, Videodrome better. I like Naked Lunch better. I mean, a lot of similar dream things I like better than that. But it's it's cool. If they built that room that turns, that's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah. I am curious, Luke, how you're going to go about a summary for this one. Which is in a different file.
But yeah, it's not in the Zoom, is it?
I'm just trying to vamp and and fill up that time with mindless blather.
Leonard
It,
Shelby's wife is raped and murdered, and in the attack, he is given retrograde amnesia. Although she's actually not murdered, she does live for a little while, but Leonard Shelby accidentally kills her because he can't remember he's given her a diabetes medication. Leonard tries to hunt down the attacker, a man named John G, and teams up with Teddy, and kills various John Gs, but because of his amnesia, it doesn't make him happy. And then Teddy tells him this, and Leonard's not very happy about it. So Leonard decides that Teddy is the next non-G and tattoos his license plate on his leg. Eventually, after getting some help from Natalie, Teddy does kill Leonard. Not that bloody hell. Leonard does kill Teddy as the final John G. But all of that happens backwards.
Mm. Except for the black and white parts.
Well, I mean, those are all flashbacks, so they
They still happen backwards, but in a
happen
different
in the
order.
distant future, but in reverse.
Did anybody look at the chart on a wiki where they have the timeline for Memento? Memento.
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 It's like the Fresh Maker, but for men.
I just want to be uno momento. You know, that's what I want to do with this movie, but that doesn't work.
I just
But
keep thinking of the word meme, unfortunately, because it
This
looks
is
like
just
meme into.
someone trying to look clever because there's no way it needs to be this complicated a graph.
I
I mean,
looked at
yeah,
it for
it's
like
not
five
primer.
minutes and I couldn't make any sense out of it. It was great.
I would
Yeah, it's
just like to add that I hate when they signify flashbacks through black and white. I hate that.
Mm.
I even hated it in Better Call Saul.
yeah. Well, at least Better Call Saul like committed to it for a long period of time, so it was kind of
Right, like a whole
trippy.
episode was in
Yeah.
black and white. And I mentioned them because I think maybe they're one of the ones that did do it well. But having flashbacks in black and white is just so obnoxious to me. I don't know why. It's just a pet peeve.
Doesn't
It's
Kill Bill do
because
that?
in the future, the color of Saul Goodman had gone out of his life, and he was just the dull reality of being Jimmy was all that was left.
He needed to steal
That's
a suit and
true.
start shooting people to put color into his life.
I
Blood
mean, I
red.
mean, he
Yeah,
worked at
turn
a
the whole screen
Cinnabon.
red.
If I worked at a Cinnabon, my life would be way more colorful because I'd be eating Cinnabon all the time and I'd get really big.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's the dream.
That is the dream.
You
And
become
not
a
having
Cinnabon.
cancer, I guess.
Well, I don't know if Cinnabon might not give you cancer. Not really sure.
Enough of anything will, I think. No, you drink enough water, you'll kill yourself, you know? You'll drown by
That's
drinking
true.
water.
I
But you
mean,
could
what if I
probably drown by eating Cinnabon too.
I was gonna say, what if right when I'm about to drown, I just eat a shitload of Cinnabon and then I'll be fine.
Where they like if you drink 35 cups of
Like,
coffee in a day, it'll kill you. It's like, well, why are you going to drink 35 cups of coffee? That's insane. That's like
Even
giving yourself multiple insulin shots.
even I can't
Oh,
drink
that's
35 cups of coffee. I could easily drink
I've drank
like
a lot
8
of
cups of
coffees, but I
coffee.
don't think I've drank that many.
I don't think I've drank 35 cups of anything in a day. That's like that would almost be like the water would kill you before the coffee would.
Well, every now and
well,
then you hear stories of people dying from drinking too many like vodka Red Bulls, and it's like, yeah, they can handle the alcohol, but that's also a lot of fucking sugar and caffeine.
that's why I
Yeah,
drink
they
Monster Zero, zero sugars.
yeah, I mean I drink those
I
too.
did have diabetes, but I don't anymore, and it's because I switched to zero sugar sodas, basically.
There you have it.
I finally
I
broke my
used to
soda rule and started drinking some Coke Zeros. I don't know. So maybe that, but not that much of it because and like the fake sugar is probably not great for you either.
I've
I
been
mean, that's
straight up cramming garbage in my mouth for the last few weeks and I have to stop because I'm legitimately gaining weight. That's it.
Yeah, we
You
had a bit of that
okay?
oh
over
for
Christmas,
for my diabetes,
actually.
they gave
Yeah.
me metformin, and metformin apparently causes weight loss, but um,
Was that like Ozempic? Did you get some Ozempic? Hey girl.
no, I got the other one. I forgot what it's called now. Insulin. Um, and I can't remember what it's called because I've like blocked those 6 months out of my mind now because it was so miserable. But uh,
Well, hey,
the Ozempic is something that like I got the alternative to it, but then they gave me metformin, which is like something that people that are taking Ozempic for dieting purposes, I guess, they take metformin as well.
mhm.
And it kind of messes with your digestive system, but whatever.
Yay. Well, modern medicine. Enjoy it while you can get it.
Right. Speaking of ADHD, I'm kind of worried they're gonna like curtail my Adderall prescription because
Well,
of uh, you know the new
depends
war on
on
drugs.
yeah, it depends on how long it takes Trump to turn on RFK Jr., which, I wouldn't bet against it being within the next 6 months. So,
Mm.
mm,
He already did. Wasn't it like the day after they hooked up, he was like forcing me to eat McDonald's on an airplane or something?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't think I don't think that might have been AI or something.
Come on,
No,
buddy,
no, no,
get
And
no.
this.
They did have a McDonald's.
Yeah.
eating
Well, I mean,
McDonald's,
my favorite
McDonald's
thing.
reacts terribly to ivermectin. So it was like it was
I
actually a pro wormer at
Oh
that
yeah, because
point.
like McDonald's is made of horse, and ivermectin is for horses, so of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
deworming the horses inside your body. Wow. No, I mean, my
Yes.
favorite thing about that photograph is just that RFK is like the quote unquote health person, but he looks so much more like shit than anyone in the like he's probably 15 years younger than Trump and looks like 100 times shittier than Trump does.
Yeah, he looks like he should be in a Hammer film. Like he looks
Yeah.
really fucking old and caked up and nasty.
Yeah, he looks like a corpse from a Hammer film that came back to life.
Exactly.
Anyway, Memento.
Sounds like one too.
Oh right.
This
You
this was
forgot.
apparently Brad Pitt was signed up to do the role originally. You're talking Fight Club. That maybe would
Mhm.
be like too close to the bone. I don't know. Like 1 year later, doing
It was
another weird.
conflict.
Yeah, there was conflict.
Scheduling conflict.
But yeah, he was like actually going to do it for a while. But I don't know. Does that work? Is
Well,
Guy Pearce is kind of a weird movie star because he's in so many big things, but you never quite think of him that much.
I do. Guy Pearce is one of my all-time favorite actors. Just because I mean, he's okay. He's my favorite Australian actor. Even more so than what's his
The
name?
huge jacked man.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. I
Russell
like him
Crowe
better.
punching people around the world.
No,
that's Russ. I mean, God, you should
Hugo
put all these
Weaving.
guys. You know,
But
I'm tempted to say Chris Hemsworth after Furiosa. Like he was so good in Furiosa that I'm like, is he actually just better than everyone else and he's just been holding back?
no,
He's-
Mel Gibson is my least favorite Australian actor.
I mean, we all hate Mel Gibson.
I
But you
wish
know,
I
love
look
the
on the
Road
bright
Warrior.
side.
anymore, but I have to.
Look on the bright side. His house burnt down.
Yeah, that's awesome. Same with James Woods, man. Fuck him.
Yeah. Anyway,
Let's not mention the people we like whose houses also burned down. But...
no, they're you know.
Can I just
hell
look
yeah.
at the
That's not
silver
fun. Why
lining
would we
for
bring
once?
that up?
Yeah, I've heard that like maybe the fires didn't kill David Lynch. Hopefully.
Well, I did
Man.
emphysema, so there's like an easy
Yeah.
line to draw there.
Yeah, but
Adron's house burned down.
oh fuck, man, really?
Yeah,
Adron
that's
is awesome.
that's
That
what I'm really.
sucks.
I know. Jeez, shout out Adron Parnassum. You're the
Yeah,
best.
if you're listening, you're the best. Thank you for representing our shitty town by being the best person from here. Well, one of them.
So yeah, here's the thing. I guess with Guy Pearce, something that makes him good as an actor is he does usually like do what he should be doing for the movie he's in, right? Which kind of keeps him from having like a easily graspable screen persona.
I was gonna say, yeah, because you were
Right.
talking about comparing him to movie stars, but he feels like he's not a movie star, he's an actor.
Right. Yes. Thank you.
But he is above the title in a lot of movies, is my point, right?
Yeah,
So-
yeah, yeah. But there are some people who maintain that, right? Like Tom Cruise, movie star.
Mm.
Guy Pearce, actor.
Right.
I would
Like
even say
distinction
somebody.
sometimes.
Yeah, like even like Jeff Goldblum, movie star.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
certain
he's
people-
on
Yeah,
the
he
gold-
Right.
plays Jeff Goldblum in everything, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
I guess a good comparison would be like Roy
And he
Scheider
plays
in the
piano
70s.
whenever he can.
Yeah, Roy Scheider, movie
He's
star.
in like well, no, he's in tons of movies above the title, but he doesn't seem like a movie star because he's always acting. Find 2 movies with him, and you'll get very different performances. You know?
I guess I haven't seen enough with him in it because I feel like he's the same person every time I've seen him.
Okay, wait,
So maybe I
for
haven't
the one
seen
you're about to
enough
watch.
Okay. Cool.
What are you about to watch? 2010.
Okay, I guess I'll unleash. I already told Mark my birthday pick is All That Jazz, so we're gonna get some singing and dancing Scheider.
All right.
Awesome. I'm excited. Yeah. Mine's gonna be I'm gonna be the 1st
Don't
one to
unleash
pick a
it
movie
yet.
nobody likes.
Don't unleash
Anyway.
that yet. We got months to think about what you're gonna
I
unleash.
I
on
have
us.
dropped I've
forget
re-listened to
about
old
it.
episodes and I have dropped this in a previous episode. So if you want
Okay.
to listen to the entire podcast from front to back, you'll find the clue. Anyway, I thought Guy Pearce, his American accent was not great in this, especially compared to like Naomi Watts, who we just saw in Mulholland Drive, who's impeccable.
I'm just finding out in this podcast that he's not American, so once again, I'm not as good at spotting this as you guys are.
Also,
Yeah.
Australians, I mean, the for whatever reason, I mean, we definitely hear the accent, but it seems that the trip from going Australian to American is like a little bit less. There's like less of a
Oh yeah,
gulf
because you're
and
both using
Yes.
fake made up accents.
right.
Yeah,
So
Well, I
look at
think
Nicole Kidman. Like, you never would guess that she was from Australia, except that her name is Nicole, and every woman from Australia is named Nicole.
mm.
So
huh?
that's the only giveaway.
Hmm.
They have
Nicole
one.
Brown Simpson was from Australia. Wow.
that-
R.I.P.
that's right.
Um. Anyway, oh, I guess you didn't say that every woman named Nicole is from Australia.
Just
No,
everyone from
it's
Australia
like,
is named
yeah,
Nicole.
not every woman from,
Like not
no,
all
not
fingers
every
are
woman named
thumbs.
Nicole is from Australia, but every woman from Australia is named Nicole.
Anyway, it was nice seeing Nicole Watts in Mulholland Drive recently, but um. Yeah, I didn't think his accent was great in this, but I think that he got better after this because he was in what Iron Man 3 and some other
He did
American.
L.A. Confidential
LA
before this.
Confidential,
Yeah, that
that's
was
Oh,
such a
what
great
oh
3 years
movie.
God,
earlier.
I love
yeah.
LA Confidential.
God, that movie is so awesome. I keep
It
thinking
really
about
is.
it's so unfair that The Usual Suspects like got so much more attention at that time because LA Confidential is so much better.
Yeah, it is. It's way better written. And I mean, we didn't know at the time. I mean, people
Yeah.
knew at the time, but Kevin Spacey, yuck.
Well,
And
yeah, of
Bryan
course.
Singer.
But also, I mean, what did The Usual Suspects
And
have?
Bryan
It
Singer,
had a
yeah.
big twist at the end where,
Hmm.
whoa, I can't believe that twist happened. But
Yeah,
LA
but that was like
Confidential was just solid.
5. Yeah, LA Confidential was about Guy Pearce fucking stuck to his guns the whole time and he came out on top. It was classic, a classic story.
See, I guess
And
that's the thing. I watched
Russell
LA
Crowe drinking around the
Confidential,
world.
and more than Russell Crowe, I was like, oh, there's the guy. I thought Guy Pearce was like, here's our new guy, right? And he did, like, pun accidental. But he did lots of good movies after. He just, yeah, he isn't like the guy on the cover of People magazine, right?
Right. But he should be. He's very handsome.
It's never too late.
It was
No,
too late in
People magazine
Prometheus
is
when they
down
made him
the.
look 180 years old, right? It's too late in
Oh,
Prometheus.
yeah.
And then they never did the part where he's aged down, so he's just in this whack old age makeup for his only appearance.
Prometheus was where they had all the Far Cries in the
Yeah.
spaceship.
The Far Cries of the
Yeah.
spaceship, yes.
Yeah, in retrospect, the best Alien movie since the fourth one. Oh, man.
God,
Something
that's a sad comparison to make because Jesus Christ.
Well,
Do y'all have an episode about the fourth Alien movie? Because I feel like
no.
I'm a huge fan of Jean. Okay.
Jean-Pierre Jeunet, I don't think Jean-Pierre Jeunet is on the good list at all. He should be.
he's
For
a divisive
fucking
one,
sure.
isn't he? I mean, like
I
he's
mean,
got,
he
Yeah,
made
like
Amelie
Lynch.
and City of Lost Children. I mean, geez.
Kind of surprised Amelie isn't on the list, to be honest. Wow,
it's
his
got
IMDb
Blu-ray,
picture
but it
is-
has no English. It's Japanese and French only. So, oops. It's only 100 yen.
You can just rip it and then download some subtitles for it.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Oh, Amelie is 8.3, so it's like right
right
there
on the line. Yeah,
at the foot
Yeah.
of the list. Delicatessen is 7.5, and City of Lost Children also 7.5.
That makes
That's
sense because there's
criminal.
going to be there's going to be a group
No,
of haters out for
Delicatessen
both
is
of those.
fucking genius.
Delicatessen
there's-
is better than any movie we've watched for this podcast.
Maybe so, yeah.
Criminal.
So apparently, the doctors say that this is a some psychologists have said this is the most realistic depiction of anterograde amnesia they've seen in film. I guess that counts for something. Does that take it a little bit of the gimmickness away? It's like, well, they're kind of doing it right.
It seems like maybe Christopher Nolan heard about this crazy mental condition and then decided to do a lot of research and make a movie about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or
I'm
his
gonna
brother.
say it's not that it's unrealistic.
It's not.
I
I
mean,
don't think the amnesia is unrealistic. I think the fact that he's been walking around getting away with all of this shit,
Yes, that's the
Right.
thing. Yeah, and
while
also
still so barely remembering it, like he's just
the
And
fact
there's
committing a
that
really
murder and then walking away and doesn't even remember to like, oh yeah, I've got all this evidence on me.
right, and
yeah,
there's
he
there's
kills
one
like
cop in the movie,
Yeah.
and he doesn't do any police work.
I mean, okay, that's realistic, um, but 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 like the fact that he's basically an incredibly efficient killer and and a he like people are manipulating him to kill people, but he's also manipulating himself by the end of the movie. So
Yeah.
it's like the fact that he's just being used by like three different people at least to just murder people efficiently. It's like that is real like super whatever superhero
And
adjacent.
there's all the money in the trunk of the Jaguar, which they've completely forgotten about.
Yeah.
Uh, so he forgets he's driving around with $200,000 in his trunk, and I think a lot of the motivation of Teddy is to pretty much just get all the money.
Well, I mean, apparently they've been killing people for a while, and he's probably paid him more money in the past. Because at one point, somebody asked him, I think Teddy asked him, like, "How do you think you're affording all those nice clothes?" So
Oh yeah.
I think he's got a bunch of money already.
Wait, yeah, he does put on the other guy's clothes at some point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
But
long
he
do we
stole the
think he's
clothes.
been living this life?
sounds
I
like
was
at
gonna say,
least
how
a
Since
long
year
is
or two.
since his wife died.
yeah, the
Right, but I
timeline of the
don't.
movie is about 5 days,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think he could only have been at this for like a month before he's gonna get caught. Like,
Really, it's
there's
not a viable lifestyle.
It's so hard to murder people, allegedly,
I mean,
from
what's
what
he
I've
gonna
heard.
do after this, if he doesn't get arrested?
Um,
Keep living in that
he'll
hotel.
yeah, just keep like he'll just go insane waiting for someone to tell him something.
Yeah, he'll start doing stuff for the guy who's running the hotel,
I
Mark
mean,
Boone Jr.
could this be a
Bert, there's
series?
his name.
Would this be a satisfying like hour-long series where every week he just stumbles into town, forgets who he is, and somebody uses him to kill someone else?
Didn't Dollhouse basically do that?
I mean,
Oh yeah.
That was the premise of Joss
of
Whedon's
what?
Dollhouse that nobody wants
Oh,
to
I
think
didn't
about
see it.
anymore.
Yeah, with Eliza douche.
Yeah, they'd mind wipe her every week and send her into a new situation or something.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that's fine.
Hmm.
It's free to stream on any given platform.
Yeah.
That's great.
Although it's
Um,
it's not a good time to, I guess, get into another Wheaton show.
well, it ended, so
Yeah.
at
Well, yeah.
least at least you don't have
It's
to
it's
wait for more of them. People are so mad about Firefly, but I'm like, look, you have a complete series and none of it is bad. So what are you
in a
complaining
movie.
about? In a movie, what are you complaining about? Like, would you rather have like The Flash where it was 9 seasons and like two of them might be good?
The Flash was 9 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
It finally
yep,
ended. It finally ended.
finally.
and the
I
nemesis
tapped
every
out.
season was always just another speedster.
Is
Yeah.
that true for all 9 seasons of The Flash? I know it's true for the first three because that's I,
Yeah, that's why I
tapped out in the
tapped
middle of
out.
the
But then I,
third.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen them talk about anyone who wasn't a speedster coming up later. So
Hmm.
I watched 3 seasons of it, and it was true for the first three. So
Yeah.
yeah,
take
That's we're
that.
only working with 33% evidence then.
Well, the
that's
first season was
more than Leonard was working with. So
yeah.
The original series we got Mark Hamill as the trickster. There we go. He wasn't a speedster.
I
no,
mean,
but
he
he was
was
just
also
he
the
was just a one
trickster.
episode baddie though. Like he wasn't.
I think he's in two or three. I think it was like a
He
two-parter and
wasn't
like one other
the.
one.
Regardless, we're talking about
He was
the
also in
main
the new
villain of the series,
series.
which he was not.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's
Mark
a step
Hamill
down from
could
being
have
the
been in
Joker.
this.
Yeah, that would
Would have
what
been better.
that would have been an interesting lead role with Mark Hamill in 2000 doing this. That would have been trippy. I would like that.
I mean, what if he was like just the murderer, the guy he murdered for the drugs? Like suddenly it's
The
Mark
guy,
Hamill.
The guy from the Matrix?
Jimmy?
He
No,
has
the other
access
guy.
to drugs.
Jimmy, the
Cypher.
other guy.
Cypher.
Yeah, can we talk about how good he is? Because like he's so good in this.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
He
apparently
was
they
very
cast
convincing scumbag Midwestern cop.
Yes.
because they cast Carrie Ann Moss first, right? And then she was like, "Hey, I just did the Matrix. I'll bring this dude over." And which I
Yeah,
think
but
they
I
thought
mean,
he was going to be too villainous. Which I don't know. He could have. Yeah, I guess he can't. He
it's
can't twirl that
perfect.
mustache though. You know.
It's perfect because you're fed up front that he's like kind of an innocent victim, and then you see him the whole time and he's kind of creepy but not like outwardly evil, and then you find out at the end he's kind of evil.
He is a
But
piece of shit, yeah.
He's a total fucking scumbag.
But also,
yeah.
he is kind of Leonard's friend.
yeah, basically he is like
Like,
in
he's a shit, but not to our guy.
like he finds out his friend is kind of a scumbag, and he's like, "I'll show you. I'll make myself kill you later."
I guess the
Don't
thing.
believe his lies.
I guess the thing in this movie is that just everyone in the movie's a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
like
much.
the hubris when Leonard says stuff about, "Oh well, I'm not gonna be like Sammy Jenkins because I have a system and I do," but he's like constantly fucking up and constantly leaving himself,
Well, I mean-
barely enough information.
Right, part of the twist is that it turns out he actually is like Sammy Jenkins. And
Well, yeah,
his
it's
system
like-
doesn't work. He's
Right.
the one who did kill his wife.
Yeah. Well, yeah, basically he is Sammy Jenkins, except worse because it's like,
Oh,
what
I
if
didn't-
Sammy Jenkins went and killed people?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like the end of Silent Hill 2, where you find out he was searching for his dead wife the whole time, and he was the one that killed her. So,
Well, I mean, spoilers, but also,
Oh,
what would have
sorry.
made this
Everyone
movie
knows
better?
that.
You know what would have made this movie better?
Pyramid
If
Head?
He got to the end and there was
Yeah.
a dog who was pulling a bunch of levers and the dog did the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah, yes. The UFO dog ending? Absolutely.
Yes. That's the best ending of any video game ever. I swear.
Or film.
I do not know of a better one.
I didn't pick up on that. Sammy Jenkins is Steven Tobolowsky, who's the insurance agent in Groundhog Day. That didn't click with me watching it last
Oh,
night.
no, I sort of recognized him, but not from that.
We were watching this and I watched it over at Alex's place. We watched it together and I was like, see, this is Christopher Nolan showing these two like people who are middle-aged talking about how they should just go ahead and die because they have nothing to live for. But it turned out
That
that it
wasn't
was
really
Guy
the theme I
Pearce's
picked
wife.
up. Yeah,
I'm always looking
But-
for shit like that.
it could have been an alternate ending. Or, if Sammy Jenkins had gone on like a killing spree because he couldn't remember shit.
Well, I mean, he died
had
in
no
a
money.
home and wasn't
Yeah.
real or whatever. I mean, what would have been cool if he was called Sammy Jenkins and then he just like went to the home and started huffing feces.
Out of
Okay.
a milk jug.
Yeah, out of a milk jug. Are you guys familiar with the Jenkins?
No, you
No.
just threw me
And
for
now
a
you
loop
are.
there.
Butt hash.
What Jenkins is
Yeah.
sniffing
Guess I'll give
dog
you one
shit?
guess what U.S. state it originated from.
Florida?
Yes, it predates bath salts.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
I guess it had
all you
to
have to do is. Oh, sorry.
it has to be, like they gotta build up because what is it? It's that and then bath salts and then what? Crocodile? Is that the?
yeah. Crocodile was like Russian, wasn't it?
Was it? Okay, I thought that, maybe I just
I mean-
equate all this stuff with Florida now.
You're thinking about crocodiles, but also alligators are what Florida has, and crocodiles are like in Brazil or something.
Mm.
I'm gonna try to see how far we can get away from the topic of this film.
Well, we were talking about Sangy Jingos. Sangy.
Sammy
Danny
Jenkins,
Jingos.
Leroy Jenkins.
Saggy
Ninky
Jingos.
Minjaj.
Well, yeah, I like this film. I always like a small story with a few people. Carrie Ann Moss is also a great piece of shit in this.
Mhm.
Like I don't know if you guys saw what Jessica Jones, where she's pretty evil in that, where it's like she definitely has.
She's very
this-
corporate evil in that.
Yeah, but it's like when she kind of gets up against the wall in that, she has this like dark side that is just really compelling, and
Hmm.
I wish she had more to do with the Matrix. Really, I guess she kind of had a little of that in the fourth
I guess
movie.
that was the biggest surprise for me in the movie. Oh, she sucks too, because you're like, hey, there's Trinity, yay, right? And then yeah, like you
Yeah.
said, she's a piece of
No.
shit.
Well, when she got everybody to spit in the beer and then mixed it up like and gave it to him and he started drinking it. I thought it was weird because like where do you go? What bar serves beer in those like weird pewter steins or whatever that she
Arizona bars,
had?
apparently.
That was really evil of her.
Well, yeah, she's pretty fucking evil. It was absolutely haunting to me, the part where he was trying to get a pen to write down all that stuff, and she's like in her car just staring at him and like
Yeah, just
smiling,
waiting.
knowing she's
Yeah.
gonna walk in there and say it was Dodd or whatever. It was just
Dodd.
unbelievable.
It was fucking Dodd. Oh my god. And then he kills Dodd, gets his
Yep.
$200,000, and he promptly forgets about it.
Wait, no, he got the $200,000 from Jimmy, not from Dodd. Dodd he just killed
Oh, that's right.
for money. I think she paid him to kill Dodd, or maybe she didn't. I don't know.
No, she just convinced him to do it out of the goodness of his heart after she had just convinced him basically to beat the shit out of her.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Toxic.
dude, just a tool.
Even to himself, yeah. Tool to yourself.
Should this have been called "Tool to Yourself"?
I guess most people are their own worst enemy, though, aren't they?
Yeah, sure. I'd probably do that. I don't know. I'd do this to myself. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill this guy. Write down.
I don't know.
Allegedly.
Where does the killer instinct come from? I feel like even if I knew I was going to forget it, I don't think I'd be compelled to, something I just can't understand, how one could just kill a man.
That's
there are men
kind
I
of
could
the
kill.
hard. I mean, yeah, I definitely, if someone is Sieg Heil to me in front of an American flag, I would probably just try to rip their arm off. That'd be
I would
pretty,
certainly break their nose.
pretty easy. Yeah.
But that's
That'd
not
be pretty
killing
easy.
them. That's breaking their nose or ripping
Well,
their
no,
arm.
I would kill the person Mark is talking about, and I
Yeah.
think anyone who sees him should.
I guess if you punch a nose correctly, you can send the cartilage
Yeah,
into the brain. Yeah.
But also, I mean, Luke, you've been working out, like hitting the gym for a solid few years. So it's like you've awakened the instincts in your muscle. Like your muscles might just kill him by themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No court could try me.
Like,
Yeah, that's why.
like I play
that's why
Beat
people
Saber a
work
lot.
out.
So maybe if I had two swords, I would just like cut someone to ribbons.
I think you have to have skill to do that. You got to
That's
practice.
what he's saying.
if you
He's got the muscle memory.
I'm pretty good at Beat Saber. I'm not like the
I
best.
don't know.
You don't think so?
That's different. I mean, yeah, with real swords, man, that's a whole different scene.
I mean, you're cutting blocks. I mean, if you have really sharp swords.
Mm.
If Mark had lightsabers,
Yeah, lightsabers.
the difference
we'll
is swords have weight.
Okay, we'll open a Patreon tier where Mark gets lightsabers.
Yeah, I'm willing to fund this.
I mean, Disney probably has some prototypes. If we could just like convince them to let me try them out on like somebody.
You have to defeat them.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that as soon as I struck them down, they would come back stronger than I could possibly imagine. But that's first cut them down first.
When's the last time you used
Yeah.
a Polaroid camera? Luke, have you ever used a Polaroid?
Oh, yeah, I had a Polaroid camera as a kid.
Okay.
They're somewhat popular again now.
Oh yeah, you can get like
A lot of my kids have them, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean that's the whole like retro things are becoming appealing to the teens somewhat. Like
Well, I
my
mean,
daughter
good
But it's
things
got
are
also
good.
just
a
photos
cassette.
are so disposable now that physical ones are actually kind of appealing again.
No, my daughter
Like, the kids are
bought
super into the
cassette
photo
tapes.
booths here
She's
as well.
taping things off of the radio. I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Well,
I mean, that's cool.
I mean-
I
I used to do
support
that.
that.
humans live in a physical world.
Radio.
Most of us have like arms and hands and fingers, and we like pushing buttons and touching things. It's like why physical objects that it's like the consolidation of things to touch screens that don't provide any feedback is something that was like a decision made by Steve Jobs, who hates buttons. He had like the phobia of buttons, and also
That's ironic.
I mean,
That's why
Yeah,
he always
it's
wore
on-
those turtlenecks.
yeah.
And it's his fault you can't
It
read
is.
your notes.
And you know what's funny? I've tried wearing a turtleneck like 2 different times, and I can't stand it. So I'm like the opposite of Steve Jobs.
Mm.
I haven't
I've
made
always said that about
anything.
you, Mark.
Thank you. I haven't made anything, and if I had cancer, I would go to the hospital instead of
Yeah.
drinking a bunch of fruit juice. Whatever he did.
Spodge Evitz. That's the opposite of
Yes, that's
Steve.
me,
That's your new name.
Spajivitz. Spajivitz.
Spodge Evitz. Yeah.
But yeah, I truly think that sooner or later we're gonna get a cell phone that's full of buttons because people like buttons, like fidget spinners. There, look, I'm just gonna say
Blackberries will
things.
come back.
Vinyl records, fidget spinners. Blackberries were great. I wish
Also, aren't you famously not supposed to shake Polaroids, actually?
Yeah, I
How do
was
you-
gonna say
Everybody
that was the
does.
thing. It's yeah, but you're not. It doesn't make a difference, really. I guess
And it fucks
it
up the
doesn't make
picture a
it
bit.
develop any faster if you shake it. I think maybe if you like expose it to heat, it develops faster, but you're not supposed to do that either.
Hmm.
Like
So how do I
a
make it
hair
go
dryer or
faster?
light bulb or something.
You don't. You just have patience, man.
Yeah, that's the nature of Polaroids. You got to savor the moment.
Yeah,
Watch your
physical
picture develop.
objects. Time passed, and then I had a photograph instead of, well, you know, my phone where maybe it happened, or maybe it didn't, or maybe it's a blurry piece of shit, or maybe it just disappears from the cloud 2 days later.
Well, there
Anyway,
was that song, "Gentlemen Take Polaroids," which I don't think it was by Japan. It was like an '80s song. You know,
Huh.
Japan was kind of like a Duran Duran ripoff. And
I mean, they're in Japan right now.
really,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that true,
I'm the
Matt?
lead guitarist.
All right, congratulations. That's a kind of a creepy band. I always got like a weird European underage girls vibe from them.
I'm looking at the
Allegedly.
cover of Gentlemen Take Polaroids, and it is extremely European creepy.
Yeah,
Euro creepy.
Euro creepy. Yeah.
Euro
No,
creepy
Euro
is different from
creepy.
American creepy.
Euro creepy is like the it's like the alternative to Eurovision, where it's like just goth bands. Welcome to Euro creepy.
I'm looking at my notes for this movie. It's kind of interesting. I wrote a shitload of notes for the first 30 minutes and then not so many for the rest. So I guess you just kind of settle down or I got sleepy. I don't know.
It's also, especially because obviously I live in the world, I kind of knew the twist already. Once the
Yeah.
film is going, you know exactly where everything is going.
It's kind of
Yeah,
inevitable, I guess. That's what's going
It's a
backwards.
very inevitable feeling film.
I do have the note nude attack exclamation point exclamation point though. That's kind of fun.
oh yeah, we were talking about that, how it compared to
Eastern
the nude
Promises.
Eastern Promises, yeah, the nude knife fight in the sauna or whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean this is
And
kind of a 5 second just he jumps at the dude, right? In here.
yeah, or yeah, he got the bottle
You
of whiskey for self-defense, and he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, I don't feel drunk."
you didn't
And
see
he's
his
like,
dick
"Oh
in this, did
yeah,
you?
I
I
don't
got
No,
what? Can you get drunk
I
like
don't
that?"
think we saw any dick.
you could try freeze framing a bit, you know.
You know where you definitely do see a dick? Nosferatu.
Okay.
What
Just
does the
Is
guy
saying.
it
do to the dick?
I've forgotten his name.
Yes,
Willem
it's
Dafoe's
Nosferatu.
famously huge dick.
Oh no, his famously huge dick is in The Northman, though.
Ah, okay.
I believe Gone
And
Girl is kind of a psychological test if you saw a dick or if you didn't.
I don't think I saw it. Wait, I don't remember. Does that mean I'm
Yeah,
gay?
I don't know what it means.
Okay.
It means you have
And also there's
antegrade
also
amnesia,
do
so
you see
Yeah.
NPH's dick or Ben Affleck's dick? There's also seems to be some controversy on that. I mean, you can go watch the movie and
Huh.
freeze frame and find out for yourself, but maybe see
It's
both. I don't
it'll never compare to Boogie Nights Marky Mark's dick reveal.
know.
No, that number one, that's not a real dick, but number two, it's still smaller than Willem Dafoe's real dick.
Oh wow.
But it does
But-
define the money shot of, a movie, I guess.
Oh, it's great. That's a great shot. That should also be on the good list and probably isn't.
Mm. But yeah, my last note, the moral of this movie is that if you wear a douche suit, then you are a douche. Okay.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
dress for the job you want.
yeah. If Leonard is kind of telling you who he is the entire movie, which I do kind of appreciate. It's like you can tell by the end. If you like him by the end of the movie and you find out you shouldn't like him, then you're
Yeah, you weren't paying attention.
weren't paying attention, or you're just one of those people who is going to give the protagonist the benefit of the doubt endlessly, which that's a lot
Yeah,
of
that's the
people.
thing. That's the thing.
Yeah, people who like Falling Down or Fight Club for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, or
They
Clockwork
they want to
Orange,
be like,
Or Breaking Bad.
yeah.
or
They want to be
or
like, cool,
Homelander from The Boys.
this guy with memory loss, he's such a good guy. He's just misunderstood.
He's just
This
trying his
poor guy.
best by murdering
His
people.
his wife died, just like Braveheart. So we should really.
Oh, actually, what we should talk about, this is the start of the trend of Nolan's dead wives,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which
That
he
is
kind of
yeah,
still
that's a big
hasn't
one.
dropped.
Well, yeah, that it's like people made a big deal about Oppenheimer finally had a sex scene, and it was like the sex scene was just so insane. Like Florence Pugh, I love Florence Pugh. She was amazing in that film, but her character was just like the most insane, toxic, mad woman, and the sex was insane. It was just so weird. But I mean, that was it was fun to watch, but in the context of everything Nolan's made, it was weird. If that makes sense.
Hmm.
Did
And
you
That
see
then
does make
Oppenheimer?
sense. But
also
he
died.
also he replaced Katie Holmes with Maggie Gyllenhaal and thought no one would
So
notice.
I think I've got a package arriving.
The
I
Nice.
bet it's
style package.
Nosferatu's. It's Willem Dafoe's dick.
Yeah, exactly. um, what? Oh yeah, dead wives. Blah blah. Yeah. Okay.
Dead
Yeah,
wives, blah blah.
that's all
That's
here.
Nolan's
Maggie
biography.
Gyllenhaal. Yeah,
I thought Maggie Gyllen. Well, I guess we'll talk about it later since
like in
that
2
movie's on the
weeks.
damned list. Oh wait, is she? She's not in the Dark Knight Rises.
Oh right. Sorry, I was twerking my Batman movies a
The
little bit. You're
second
right.
one,
Yeah,
the second
yeah.
one is like way up the top of the list.
Right. Sorry, I was trying to jump on the. Hey, we're about to do Batman, so.
We are
but
about to do Batman.
but not that one. Okay.
The Dark Knight.
We're
Yeah.
doing Dark Knight Rises first because it's not as good, according
Mm.
to everyone, including me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it.
Dark Knight is
Um,
like the fifth from last movie we're doing, which is crazy. That is the third highest rated movie, period. That I didn't realize it was that high. That's nuts. I mean,
But this,
sure, it's good.
The Dark
Huh?
Knight being number 3 on the good list.
I'm does not surprise me at all.
I mean, yeah,
Everyone likes it, so like the
I'm
good
not
list
gonna-
isn't like best films. It's
It's popular.
films with no one who doesn't like.
yeah. I mean,
Right.
Again, that's
Kinda
why
like how-
Delicatessen's not on the list, right?
or like how Taco Bell is the most favorite Mexican restaurant in America.
That is offensive.
I mean,
I know, but it's
Not
the
Mexican
most
food.
readily available. It's the
American
biggest.
food.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
the thing about it is that if you said Taco Bell was the favorite fast food,
Yeah,
I-
that wouldn't upset me. It's cool to get
Yeah.
the favorite
That makes sense.
Mexican food.
But
it's it's
but
not.
it's the
It's a
most
specific thing.
popular Mexican restaurant in America. But,
Well, it's
Oh,
like
shit.
certain. I always say there's like certain things that are like a specific thing, like White Castle or KFC or Pizza Hut, where like they're not. Pizza Hut is almost like not pizza. It's like a different thing.
Would you say that Memento is the Taco Bell of Nolan films?
I'd say it
I
is
would
the
say
small
the Wendy's.
burrito.
It's a small burrito. Okay.
Small burrito at Taco Bell of Christopher Nolan movies.
Mm. All we get here in the convenience stores, we get like these weird things that call themselves burritos, and sometimes they call themselves pizza sandwiches because they don't know what they are. But I eat them a fair amount of the time.
I mean, wouldn't the suffix "ito" mean small anyway? So like, wouldn't a large burrito be like a burro?
You're not eating the full burro. You're just eating like a part of the burro.
and burro means donkey.
Hmm.
Oh, so like a burrito is like a small donkey, probably.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Little
glad
We've
we
donkey.
learned
found.
something. We've learned something.
Well, anyway, if it's not the Taco Bell of Nolan films, is it a film? Is it filth? I guess
It's
it's
a
filthy
film.
for Nolan, though.
Right. It's fine.
I'm
I'm
coming
not
to it
gonna.
way too late. I didn't dislike it or anything. I'm just like I like this is one where I'm kind of like I don't quite see why this is on the top 100 list. Maybe
Well, you said you didn't like Insomnia. How do you feel this compares to that?
well, I had a much better time watching this last night than watching Insomnia 20 plus years ago on opening night. That's I saw
Hmm.
Insomnia opening night because I didn't see Memento. So like, well, I guess I should see this one then, and we didn't, didn't like it at the time. If I watched it now,
Hmm.
I might like it. I don't know. It just seemed kind of boring when I saw it the first time.
I mean, I
I
liked it.
got into Nolan with Batman Begins and watched everything from there on.
Yeah, that's
So
where I actually like got into Nolan because Insomnia I was like, this isn't for me. I don't like this guy's vibe, which
I'd always had in the back because I like everything in that direction. I'd always assumed I better watch Memento one day because I'm probably gonna love it. And
it
then
it did have a little bit more like proper Nolan strains than I actually expected. I don't know why I didn't like. I guess just the way the pacing, like you said, the cinematography isn't really up to his later films, but what films are.
Well, it's just the same guy, Wally Pfister.
Yeah, but even he like like this is earlier in his career, didn't have much money, but I could see where you can draw the line. It's not like I felt like I was looking at garbage or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an entertaining movie. It's got a clever gimmick.
it looked a lot like Goodwill Hunting to me, which
Huh.
it's a well liked movie. I don't think that either of these movies look particularly good, but I'm just not like a big 2000s look person. Looks what are you 2000s era cinematography person?
Which
yeah,
is too
like
bad because that's the tail end of a film.
the night after watching
Well,
this, we watched Mission Impossible 3,
hmm
and I was like, God, action looked so bad in this era. Where like the
yeah.
camera just does not stay still for a second. And everything's like he travels across the world in that film, and everywhere looks the same because it's
Yeah.
all just that same like color grading and
Whereas
stuff.
after that, when the Mission Impossible start like owning their action
Oh yeah,
sequences,
I literally turned to Mercy and was like, "Well, now you've watched those three. Now Mission Impossible gets good."
Yeah, you've earned the right to continue to the good films.
Yeah,
Two gets better every time I watch it, though. I'll say that, and three gets worse.
I'm kind of the opposite.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I used to be a two defender, and it's like every time I watch it, I'm just like, God, Tom Cruise cannot play this role. He cannot be the edgy, sexy bad boy. He just can't. It's
I mean,
not
I
in
like
his
it like I like
repertoire.
Star Trek Five.
Hmm.
I'm just
I
watching the
haven't
I'm whole time I watch the film, I'm like, if this was Bond, it would be so much better, but Tom Cruise cannot do this. I
Well,
don't buy it.
guess he worked that out. And that was also
Yeah,
like
he's
John
just a
Woo's.
clean cut good boy and all the rest.
Yeah, it was like John Woo's like just weird Hollywood trip.
Oh, the action's good. Like John Woo still delivers there.
Yeah, I'm just
It's
saying
just
his
the
actual
core of the
movies.
film is meant to be this sexual tension.
Mm.
He's a bad boy on the edge, and it's just like no.
Except for maybe Face Off, he just never really hit the bullseye with his Hollywood films.
Yeah.
okay. I mentioned Wally Pfister, the
Yeah,
cinematographer for this.
yeah.
He's done a bunch of softcore porn.
Well,
I
they
mean, his
got the
name's
name for
Wally
Oh
it.
wow.
Fister, yeah.
I I don't mean to be like try to shame him for it because it's just very funny.
He
Like
should
he
have been hardcore
directed
with that
he
name.
did the cinematography for Secret Games directed by Gregory Dark.
Ooh.
In the heat of passion. These are all like 90s. They're all 90s softcore. This is very funny. So he
Legend.
did that. I mean, that actually kind of makes me like him more because if you think of his journey as being like cinematographer in a bunch of softcore movies, and then he starts off with like this stuff, and then segues into doing like The Dark Knight and Batman Begins, both of which look insanely good.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of
Yeah, that's
awesome.
a far cry from softcore porn.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
and he did the Prestige for where he was had prestige.
I've got a
Oh, the last thing he said, the last thing he worked on was Taco Bell, Web of Fries 2, Franchise Wars.
what?
Oh fuck.
Taking a full circle.
See, we were on topic. What do you know? Uh, I do have a 1-star review for y'all.
Cool.
Uh, this is mass hysteria? Question mark. Memento is far from an original concept, and the plot closely resembles Swiss cheese. It quite simply does not warrant the praise given it, which I suspect is heavily weighted by the 15 to 21 male demographic, see Bottle Rocket. The blatant contradictions
Wait,
presented by
what?
the substandard writing. This review is from 2001, by the way. The blatant contradictions presented by the substandard writing are conveniently covered with mind-numbing violence, as opposed to that which is stimulating, thereby justifying the waste of 90 minutes of my life. Ooh, I have no memory. It must be a condition. If you don't get it because it's so mind-blowing, wait until you grow up and understand that being confused by the story doesn't indicate clever writing. I can't stress enough, and this is all caps. Save your vote until puberty is over. At the very at the very least,
Wow.
commit to a second viewing before casting. It is simply embarrassing to indicate that this movie is rated as number 9 by U.S. voting standards. Was this higher, I guess, at one point? What are the French going to think? It is going to lower the standards of movies being produced worldwide. Resist the temptation to fall into the pit of hype. Watch Groundhog Day instead.
Oh,
Well, yeah, Groundhog Day is
so
better than this.
But
Groundhog
Groundhog
Day
know-
Day's the opposite. He remembers everything.
Well, that movie's no good as
I-
Andy McDowell in it.
I will say that this is a hot take, but I do agree. I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan, except Bottle Rocket, which I do not like.
I've never seen Bottle Rocket. That's the one of his I have not seen.
It is
I like
less
Bottle
Wes
Rocket.
Anderson-y. A lot of people do like it, but it's objectively less Wes Anderson-y than any of his other stuff.
Oh, I didn't see the
Yeah,
one he
he-
did before Asteroid City, like his 2020 movie.
Oh,
or
the
something.
French Dispatch?
Didn't see that.
Dude, I loved it.
Okay, I didn't even know
I
that
haven't-
existed until after I saw Asteroid City, so I don't know how that one just complete. I guess that's 2020, but yeah.
It was one of those where I'm like, it's irresponsible for me to go to the movie theater, but I'm going to go anyway.
Mm.
There are a few of those. Here I found there are a lot of 1-star reviews, like at least 30 or 40 of them. But I found
Yeah, but some of them
dumb
say
one.
overrated but still good. That's not the kind of review we're looking for.
Here's a dumb one. Crap, z, boring crap. What a boring movie. It was the second movie I ever turned off halfway through. I got the point of going forward and reverse thing that they were trying to do, but for the love of God, did it have to be boring? Please, people, wait till it comes out on video or DVD and then don't even rent. Get something sometime better, like Battlefield Earth. Bad movie too.
whoa.
8 people find it helpful and 9 found it unhelpful.
Hey, this one gave it a 1, saying like if you're smart you'll get it, but I'm stupid and so I didn't like it.
Wow.
If somebody explains it to me, maybe I'll give it a 10. That's
Well, some-
can't be real.
Yeah, we could spend a really long time going through these 1-star reviews, which is interesting. I don't think we've. Is it just because this is Christopher Nolan that there's this many? I guess.
Possibly.
Possibly, yes.
It's a
Yeah,
very
but-
popular film, so
Post people with the knowledge of what Christopher Nolan has done, more recently, go back and look at it, and it's probably disappointing.
An awful lot of these are 2001, 2002 reviews, though. Interestingly, here's a 2011. The Dumb Guy's a 2011 review, but yeah, most of them are actually from the year or two after the movie. It seems.
Huh.
Yeah.
They're probably
yeah.
like, yeah, this Nolan guy, he's got no future in Hollywood.
I mean, they might. Those people might have kept hating him because there are definitely people who just hate everything he does. I think.
I like this one. I'm not going to read the whole. Actually, it's short. I could. Original and different, but so what?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, that sounds good to me. I don't know.
that's a pretty fair assessment.
Well, I found one from 2003 that says rated 10th best overall. Is this a joke? So this was number 10 22 years ago.
I'll keep on with this one. Actually, original and different, but so what? Only watch this if you like weird movies. This is a classic movie, which sort of keeps you interested because so different from other films. But the end, you just say to yourself, "That's it. That's the end." I really dislike this movie, like Donnie Darko and Requiem for a Dream.
Wow.
Yeah. Donnie Darko is another movie I do not care for.
And I thought Requiem for a Dream was shit.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. Luke agrees
Yeah,
with that bit.
I definitely think Requiem for a Dream slots in with this and Good Will Hunting as like a not good looking movie from that era.
Yeah.
Like an iPod on just the title of this, like an iPod on shuffle, but only containing 6 songs playing for 2 hours.
Well, if it's good 6 songs, you're good to go.
It wasn't even a
No,
2-hour movie. It was
that
like,
sucks.
Hour
Matt, I will
53.
not. Will not tolerate that. I will not tolerate 6 songs for 2 hours. Any songs. That's insane.
What if what about a symphony? Then the tracks are like 50
yeah,
Okay.
minutes
yeah.
long.
Like,
Sure. Sure.
what
Six
about
entire
Dream
symphonies.
Theater, man?
I mean, if the songs are what's 2 hours? If the songs are 30 minutes, 20 minutes each, then sure.
You rock out to the dead. Oh, you're saying Dream Theater there? Yeah, sure.
No, I will not rock out of the dead. Thank you
You're
very
gonna rock
much.
out to the dead.
I am not. This is outside of my wheelhouse. Like the last guy from the band died, and I'm like trying not to tell anyone how much I dislike the band.
You just don't want to have a case of the groovies, man. That's all.
He died
mean, it
because
all
somebody
sounds-
put the load right on him.
The band just sounds like someone's wagon broke down and they're rolling it down to the river to fucking wash their clothes in the river. Like anyway, I don't need this.
And take a load of Fanny.
I don't need that shit. I don't need to like dump on this band that's all dead now.
Me during music chat is like Matt when we go into games chat.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Yeah,
up
I'm the only person. Is there what can you and Matt, and then when you and Matt talk about your work, then that's when I tune out.
Yeah. Or just living in Japan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll listen to stuff like you went to some cafe or something. Dude, we just got a Sonic the Hedgehog cafe in Atlanta in Chambly. I'm gonna go to it.
Yeah,
Oh
Marcy's
wow,
jealous, I'm
no, I
sure.
need to take my son. Huge
dude,
Sonic
yeah, let's
fan.
all go. Let's all go. I'm excited. They have just dumb stuff like handheld pizza burgers and things like that. And you can buy Sonic
Onion
merch.
rings.
I think so, yeah.
I'm gonna get
Anyway.
the onion rings,
It's here for
and then I'm
60
gonna
days.
get hit and puke them all up.
Just
On
like
stage.
walk out and then accidentally bump into somebody and then just puke all the onion rings up.
Okay, now we're on onion ring puke. I guess we're finished with Memento. Memento. See, I'm still doing it. I just can't do this title correctly.
Memento.
Memento.
Mementos.
Memento.
Oh,
I
man,
feel like I'm
Sonic
soft pedaling the name when I say it that way.
Sonic the Hedgehog Cafe has a 3.0 rating, so it's lower rated than this movie.
Oh
Out
wow.
of 10?
Oh,
Well, you're
Out of
eating
5.
hedgehog.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess we'll wind this one down then. If you're digging this, it's Films and Filth. Go give us a good review or something, a rating, or
Find
tell
us on
what's
Blue
up.
Sky.
Mark's up in the blue sky. I put it on my phone, but I haven't done anything with it yet. So
Yep, we're on Blue Sky at podcast.
And
real?
Films and Filth Pod.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Why not?
Just have one for all of them because we don't get followers when we make separate podcast accounts.
Okay.
Podcastius. Look that up in
I just
all
want to.
forums
I want to
and find
shit post.
stuff.
I want to shit post about things like how Marlon Wayans is making a scary movie again.
Yeah,
That's
just
the
do
only
it
reason
on the
I made
main
it.
podcast account.
yeah. Speaking
Okay.
of Requiem for a Dream,
Podcastius, a Patreon. Podcastius, a Blue Sky. Podcastius.org. Podcastio.
I may have reacted more dramatically than I needed to there, Mark. I apologize.
No, it's all good. I mean, you're right. I am not good at social media, and I honestly don't fucking do anything there, which I am.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I mean. So we're barely going to use the account anyway. We might as well just have one.
Yeah.
And if you want to ship post on, well, I guess that's what you do.
Yeah, I know, stop you.
just give me the thing, yeah, because it's just honestly sometimes I see something that has somebody from one of the movies, and I'm like, I kind of want to text Luke and Matt about it, but I'm like, it's not really worth it. It'd be more fun to just go publicly and be like, Marlon Wayans does this, and then be like, for more Marlon Wayans, listen to these 3 podcast episodes about these bad movies he was in.
Unless you like Requiem.
I mean, all the more reason for me to call it bad, because then we get engagement.
All right. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the recording. Should I do the cut before or after your apology, Luke?
Oh, no,
Before,
don't never include
probably?
my apologies.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll cut it
before.
right before that. Yeah, I'll cut with Alex's interesting noise.